So I decided to have a serious go at real racing rather than just with the AI. I had done a few races in sport mode, but without much success. When the Manufacturers' Cup was on, there was some attraction to entering a 4-round event. Even though I missed one weekend racing, my 3 best results still allowed me to come first in my area, driving the Honda NSX. That was indeed a shock to me. Soon thereafter, the Nations Cup was running over 4 weekends again, so why not give that a go? I had to miss one weekend with family commitments again, so only 3 weekends, but only 3 results count anyway. So enter we did, and in the end we ended up 4th in our region. Not as good, but some reasons probably stand up. Okay, so let's jump into some races and see how we went. This is round 3 and it's for Group 1 cars. I'm in the Audi. The meta car was the Bugatti, but I could not get my wheel to settle with the Bugatti at all. I just got strange vibrations. So we had to find a car we could drive confidently, and the Audi it was. So down to the chicane on the first lap is always a bit crazy at Monza, and you can see the Nissan inside me punts the driver ahead and runs across. And it's a bit of a shambles, but that's okay. So we're just trying to take it easy to make sure we get to the end of this race. So a little bit further along, and we are running down now towards the Ascari chicane, and the driver ahead of us hits the fence, so we pick up the place. And we're back to about where we started. But watching the mirrors too closely and running wide and letting him back through, so that was a bit sad. So down the straight again, and we'll fast forward a little. We're now on lap 3, and up ahead is our friend in the Nissan who's had an off track, and the Nissan's quite fast in a straight line, and so the Audi can't outrun it. Passes me again down to Ascari, but we can hold on to him through the twisty bits, which is good. So we're heading back down now towards Parabolica. Again, he'll pull away from us in a straight line, but we should be able to keep up with him around this corner back onto the main straight, and just see if we can hold on to this place. So again, we can tuck inside, we get a much better run out of Parabolica. Nice late apex, which is the fast line down across the fence, and again we'll lose touch as we head down towards the chicane. So about halfway through the race now, on lap 9, and we start to see cars having to pit. So because we're running our car with a little bit less fuel, we should be able to get to the end of this race without having to put any fuel in. And you can see even here we've got over half a tank still remaining, so we're seeing cars pitting ahead of us. So that gives us a little bit of an advantage, because they'll lose a little bit of time when they go into the pits, but we are pretty hopeful that we'll be able to run right to the end without a stop. So we come back out and we'll see the car has come out the pits ahead of us, but we've picked up a bit of time. Now down to lap 13 out of the 17 laps, and pushing a bit hard, get the chicane here all wrong and lose some time. And of course, once you've been out in the gravel, your tyres are dirty, and so the next couple of corners become a bit tricky, and we managed to hold it through the 2 Lesmos without too much drama, and get back on our way to trying to move through the race to the end without losing too much time to the rest of the field. We're obviously nowhere near as fast as the other drivers here, but having fun just the same. So we jump forward now to lap 15, and we're starting to get a little bit shaky and untidy in our exits there at the first chicane around the Curva Grande, and more cars pitting up ahead, all the leaders into the pits to get fueled up. And we're looking at our fuel map. We're still on the band 3, so it's not too bad. We've still got some power, but we are fuel saving. Here we are again, up ahead. Car has been off track here somewhere, I suspect, and we're starting to catch back up rather than driving around on a bit of a lonely old race on your own, but learning all the time. So we're starting to catch up here again. I think this is our friend in the Nissan, and he's quite slow compared to how he was going earlier. And we'll just see what happens. Is he going to go into the pits, or what's the story here? We pass him on the outside and pick up a place, and so now we're up into 9th place, and I think he's gone to the pits. So we'll fast forward into the final lap, and we'll just see where we end up with this race. We haven't had to pit. We've still got a little bit of fuel, quite a fair bit of fuel, so I could have run a little bit of a stronger fuel map, and we end up finishing in P9, and I'm really happy with that. Okay, so let's now go and have a look at the last race I did in round 4 in the Merc F1 from 1955. A really tricky but nice car to drive. So I'm starting in P9, and there's a couple of cars behind me with a full field back to P12. Actually, P13. So we're at Spa, and naturally the first lap is always a bit of a challenge. You can see 1 or 2 cars didn't even make it over the start line, and so we pick up a couple of places because of that into La Source, and it's all very tight running down to Eau Rouge 3 wide, and I decide it's time to back out and just play it a little bit safe. So down into Eau Rouge and Raidillon, and there's not too much problem here. I run a little bit wide out onto the straight, but no damage done, no penalties, and a couple of likely lads behind us that are fighting hard to catch up, and we'll see the fruits of their labour before we get to the end of lap 1. So down into the tricky downhill section now, and still holding our position pretty well. Car up ahead that's got a penalty, a couple of cars actually with penalties, and we get a little bit close to number 7, who's backed out, and we've still got the likely lads tucked in behind us, and really starting to push hard down now through this double left-hander. A couple of them go a bit wide and out in the gravel, and then rejoin with a pretty dodgy rejoin, and in fact so dodgy that the driver in the 9 car runs me off the track into the fence, and I'm pretty much at the back of the field. So time to catch up. Running around on our own. Dirty tyres, of course, back off the track. More dirty tyres, and we're heading towards the end of lap 1 and just trying to settle back down into a rhythm and get ourselves going again. You can see we're pushing along, so upper place. So obviously someone's else has come off the track somewhere and binned the car behind me now. Yep, more yellow flags, so that's indicating that there's been another accident, and there we pick up another place by running past a car that's off the track. So not taking good note of what I'm doing. I got up to 10th, but then threw it away on the exit of the bus stop. So zoom forward to lap 4 and have a look at how we're progressing. We're now up to 8th place, so there's been a little bit of carnage ahead of us, and we're starting to rejoin with some of the cars ahead of us, and J Max will be there right to the end of this race. So it's back into racing mode. We're running along with some other cars, and really makes for better fun if you can be doing that rather than the lonely time pacing out on your own. So I decided I'll try and keep some pressure on Maxi and see if I can get him to make a mistake, and for a brief moment I managed to get past him, but he makes a wonderful pass on the outside down through the double left and picks his position back up again. But we stay in touch, and we're now on lap 6 and still holding on, so pretty happy with the performance, particularly given how tricky this old Merc is to drive quickly. Slight off track here and he gets away a bit, but not too much damage done as long as we get the bus stop under control, which on this occasion we do it reasonably nicely. Wide on the exit, but again no penalty, so always hard to get that just right. Okay, into La Source to start another lap, and still got a little bit to make up. Maxi's down the hill from me, and Scotty's trying pretty hard behind us to get back in with us, but he's struggling a lot. I found that towards the end of this race, lose a little bit of grip with these tyres, and you had to really work hard to make sure you kept that car straight and not running off track and getting penalties. So we're now in 7th, so another car has been off, and that's the whole point with these races. Just do them to the end, because you just never know what might happen ahead of you, particularly if you've got some drivers who really are aggressive and are battling each other up ahead. Often you'll find they'll be off the track and you'll get to pass them just by driving sensibly and clean. So still there, tucked back in behind Maxi and pushing on hard to try and see if I can get him to make a mistake, but it's just not happening. In fact, I'm probably overdriving the car a little and starting to lose touch with him there. So not many laps left, and if we're going to get that place, we'd have to really have a miracle, I suspect. Safe from behind, there's no one behind pressuring us, so I don't have to be in the mirrors and worrying about defending lines or anything like that. I can just focus on trying to get this last place. Still holding on, driving okay, not the fastest obviously on the track. There's plenty of people up ahead of us that are making much better time in this car, but you can see that, you know, the sectors times, even at this end of the race, and I'm on the last lap, are still quick. So if we're going to get sixth, now's the time. There's not many corners left, and I just push too hard and get out on the green stuff, and Maxi gets away and the opportunity is gone. So settle in, no more mistakes. One last push, but yeah, just went in too hot and couldn't get the Merc stopped, and we finish in 7th place. So again, really happy with that. And with that, that was the end of the Nations Cup, and as I noted earlier, we ended up 4th in our region, which I'm pretty happy with. This was a long video for me, so if you made it this far, well done. Maybe hit the like button before you go. So thanks for watching. I hope to catch you on a racetrack sometime, and bye for now.